Alright, hey everyone, so it's been a really long time since I made a video. It must be like a year or so, but I've just been busy. I just don't have the time. I coach my son's soccer team. They have 4 practices a week. They normally start at 5, so coming home from work, going to practice, and then games on weekends. I just haven't had the time to do any videos. I barely have time to take care of the lawn as it is. But I really do want to get going, especially since I really need to do something about the lawn. It's not looking the best at the moment. So for this video, I just want to show you guys how it looks. I've had issues during winter with grass dying. It looks better this year. I must say it does look better, but I still have some die off. I mean, you'll have that. We have pretty harsh winters. And I'll also show you how I'm going to start taking care of the bare spots. Instead of just throwing everything on the lawn, I'm going to do something else instead. So I'll show you that as well. But for now, as you can see from behind me, it's growing out of control right now. I haven't mowed this in, I don't know, a week maybe. So let's give this a mow and then we'll continue on. You'll also start noticing seed heads right about now during spring. This is normally in the cycle where grass wants to reproduce. So they'll start shooting out these seed heads. Now these particular ones, the small ones, these are can you even see them? Yeah, these small straight ones, these are 100% ryegrass. You have, similar to these seed heads, you have quackgrass, or what we call kvickrot in Swedish. They look very similar, very similar. It's almost hard to distinguish if it's ryegrass or if it's quackgrass. But if they are close to a plant where you have broad leaves, pretty rough leaves, that's quackgrass. I've seen a lot of comments online, people complaining about these for ryegrass, that they're so hard to walk on. It hurts their feet, but I've had ryegrass forever. I have ryegrass, a creeping red fescue, and then on the sides I have Kentucky bluegrass. I've basically only overseeded with 100% creeping red fescue, but before this I had 100% rye. I mean, the kids still play football here. They never complained. I've never had any issues with it. So as long as you consistently mow, it shouldn't be that much of a problem, but you'll start seeing seed heads. This is also a great time to start identifying what kind of grass you have, because seed heads are a great way to kind of identify them. I did a video last year, I'll put a link to it, where I compared a couple of seed heads, a couple of normal grass types. I think it was creeping red fescue, Kentucky bluegrass, quackgrass. All right, let's continue on mowing. All right, I'm done mowing the entire thing, and I didn't follow the 1/3 rule. I most definitely took more than 1/3, but it is what it is. I promise you it will survive. It's just grass, dudes. All right, so let's have a look. All right, so just looking like this, it's not looking that bad. I mean, I'll put a picture what my lawn usually looks after winter, especially when I had the ryegrass. I'll put a picture of that and you can compare. I mean, this isn't too bad. I mean, we will have die off since we have a couple of meters of snow here compacted and a lot of ice. So some of it will die off. And this is normally snow mold that kills it off. As you can see, there's a lot of patches here and there. Now, most of these smaller patches you don't need to fix. I mean, you don't need to reseed everything. I only need to reseed like these larger patches over here, this patch over here. The smaller ones, they will kind of fill in. All right, so this whole backyard is pretty much only creeping red fescue and some ryegrass. The part that has done the best is the side strip. I pretty much only have Kentucky bluegrass here. I reseeded this, I think last year? No, maybe it was the year before. And I only took Kentucky bluegrass. And Kentucky bluegrass does survive winter the best, according to tests. And it's certainly true for my lawn as well. But still, I do have some bare spots. It's unavoidable. With these winters, you're gonna get bare spots. But I think these will kind of fill in over time. And then we have the front. The front I have mostly Kentucky bluegrass and creeping red fescue, but still, look at it. Now this tree has gotten really big. I'm really bad at pruning it. I really need to prune it down a lot, but I think it's covering most of this area, so I barely get any sun over here. When the sun comes during morning, you have sun over here, and then during the afternoon, the sun comes up. The sun goes over there, but the tree is kind of blocking this area, and also the tree is taking a lot of water and nutrients as well. So this part, I'm not really sure what to do. I might try some kind of shade tolerant grass, but I'm not sure. Even if it's shade tolerant, it still needs sun. But overall, it's looking pretty okay, I would say. The front is what it is. All right, so now for fixing the bare spots. I kind of made a boo-boo. I promised the wife that I would use up everything I have in the shed, all the seeds, all the fertilizer, before I buy new ones. So I just assumed I had a lot of seeds left. I usually have a couple of different bags, but apparently I didn't have any seeds. And the seeds I usually use, you have to buy them online. So what I had to do is I just went to the local store here, bought whatever they had. So this is from Exceed. It's still a pretty good brand. And this one contains about 50% creeping red fescue, 25% ryegrass, and then you have 25% Kentucky bluegrass. And it's a mix of all three. And I think I'm kind of done with the monostands where you kind of just use one type of grass seed. Feels like it's more susceptible to diseases and all kinds of stuff. All of these grass types have different attributes. They have different strengths, different weaknesses. It's always a good idea to have a good mix of those. Aesthetically, it's not as nice. I've tried monostand here with ryegrass, and I have Kentucky bluegrass on the side strip. There's a special, you get a special look and a special feel when you know you have one type of grass. It looks awesome. It definitely has its downsides, but it has its upsides as well. But for now, I'm just gonna sow with whatever I'm already using. So what I'm gonna do, since we don't have any rain in the forecast, is I'm going to put seeds into these two barrels. Now I have just regular top dress in here, and I'm gonna mix them in. It's almost like putting salt or pepper on your food. Now, if you think I'm using too much seeds, there's never been a moment in all the years I've done lawn care where I've said to myself, wow, I used too much seeds. There has definitely been moments where I said I should have used more. So I'd rather use too much seed. And then you just mix that up. All right, so this is how it looks. And the seeds are green because they're coated. All right, and as you saw, I did 2 of them. Now, if you're doing this, do more than you think you'll need. You'll always end up using more than you think you're gonna use. I don't know how many times I've done this, and then as soon as I'm halfway through, I can already tell it's not going to be enough. I barely think this is going to be enough, but that's what I had at home. That was the only top dress I had. So now all I have to do is just keep this moist. So instead of going around the entire lawn, just keeping everything moist, checking everything, I can just have it in the wheelbarrow until it starts growing. Now, this is very timing sensitive. As soon as you see the seeds starting to crack, you can't wait. You need to put it on the lawn immediately. Trust me, if you wait even 1 day extra, it might be too late. Then the seeds have germinated and it's going to be a disaster. Now, one other thing, and this is important, when you do go over to check the seeds, don't look at the top and say, well, nothing is growing, it should be fine for another day. You need to check underneath, because the further down you go here, it's going to be warmer, so the seeds will germinate faster. I don't know how many times I've done this, and still to this day, it still happens. I come and I dig a bit, and I don't dig far enough. So I'm looking at this and thinking, no, it's looking okay. But then I go a bit deeper, and I can see underneath here, it germinated too much. So when you're checking it, don't just look at the top. You need to dig down further. Now this will save you a lot of time. Now if you're doing ryegrass when it's warm outside, it will grow in like 3-4 days. So if you're doing this with ryegrass, you can only wait like a day or two, maybe 3 days. But this is particularly good if you're doing creeping red fescue or Kentucky bluegrass. It takes a couple of weeks. So then it's a good idea to do this. Then you'll save yourself a lot of time. All right, I think that's it for this video. I'm glad to be making videos again. Let's hope I can keep doing them. I'm not sure how much time I will have. I'm not gonna do any big renovations this year. I actually leveled off the entire lawn with sand last year. I even shot the follow-up video for that, but I just haven't had the time to edit it. I haven't had time to edit it. Sounds so weird. Well, I haven't had the time to edit it, but we'll see. I still need to do the bare spots once the seed starts cracking. That's what I'm doing next. And then I have 2 mowers I'm testing this year. I'm just keeping the 2 brands that have worked the best out of all the mowers, robo mowers I've tested. It's been Segway and Mammotion that has been by far the best ones. So I will install the Segway over here at my neighbor's lawn. Their lawn is a bit more tricky. And then I will install the Mammotion one, the Yucca, on my own lawn. Because I think the Yucca had a side disc, so it cuts the edges. And I thought, since I have borders, stone borders here, it might be very efficient on my lawn. I'm not sure. We'll see. So those are the ones I'm gonna try. But other than that, I'm not doing any big renovations or anything. I would like to pretty much restart with the entire lawn. It would be so nice to kind of try. I just said I shouldn't do monostands, but I'm so curious to try Kentucky bluegrass on the entire lawn. Why I'm not using Kentucky bluegrass too much is the germination time is just so long. And usually my son and his friends, they want to play soccer on the lawn. So I can't really deny them like 4 weeks, 5 weeks of not playing because I've restarted the lawn with Kentucky bluegrass. That's why ryegrass is always, even though you get a lot of dead spots, it's easy to fix it. But they're old enough now, so they don't play on the lawn anymore that much. They go to the soccer field. So now I might, but not this year, maybe next year. And also, as you've noticed, I haven't been able to answer any comments. It's been overwhelming. It's so many comments. I've had so little time, and I've also had some health issues. So I just haven't had the bandwidth to think about comments or videos or anything like that. Hopefully I can start answering a couple more, but I don't think I'll have the energy to go through all of them. I mean, there's hundreds. But if you've written anything, if you've written any question or something you really want to answer, maybe write it again on this video, because it's harder for me to go back. It's not easy to see what you've answered, especially if you're replying to a reply already. YouTube takes that as I've already replied to it, so it doesn't show up again. So if you have a question you really want to answer, you've asked it, but I haven't replied yet, maybe write it on this video and I'll try to keep up with all the comments on this video instead. Other than that, good to be back, and I'll see you guys in the next one.